Man, all the commotion going on with Roe v. Wade is it's crazy to me. Like it's crazy how black people is fighting. Like black people acting like this is their fight when actually this is benefiting them the most, right? Because most abortion clinics are in the black neighborhood. The founder of Planned Parenthood said she was trying to exterminate blacks. Search it up, like it was all meant for black people in the beginning, right? They were trying to exterminate black people with abortions, right? Lower the population. It's been working very, very good as our percentage of the percentage of the U.S. population that is black is decreasing. It was more than what it is today. And it's crazy how so much black people fighting for this. It's like they acting like this is a black fight when this is not a black fight. This is not a black cause, right? They're fighting for their own destruction. The same way liquor stores are all next to the black community. It's the same way most abortion clinics are all next to the black community, right? Because they're trying to get us to destroy ourselves, right? And we always fall for it, right? That's the heartbreaking thing. We always fall for the traps, right? We claim to be against racism and white supremacy, but we always fall for the traps of racism and white supremacy. And the crazy thing is we end up going against people that are not racist, right? And the people that are actually racist are painting the people that are not racist the racist. And you're fighting the people that's not doing nothing to you while letting the people that's actually messing you over and getting over on you, finessing you, trapping you, trying to destroy you. You letting these people slide. And it's working. It's like it's working perfectly, right? Right. And a lot of people don't realize Roe v. Wade made it possible to have abortions up to 9 months in every state, right? I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about that, right? They made it legal. All you had to do was say, your mental health is at stress. Your mental health is at risk. All the mother had to do was say her mental health is at risk and she could get an abortion up to 9 months. It's called late-term abortion after viability. And the judges in the previous case 50 years ago specifically pointed that out, right? They expanded health exemptions to mental health exemptions, right? They said that the only way you can get an abortion after viability is if your health is at risk, and they expanded that to incorporate mental health, right? Which is crazy, right? Because all you gotta do is say, "Oh, the baby's gonna stress me," and you can legally get an abortion up to 9 months. And if a doctor denied you that right, and you had enough money to go to court, you could sue the whole hospital and win because it's Roe v. Wade made it law that a woman can get an abortion up to 9 months as long as she says her mental health is at risk, right? So if they denied you this, when you said your mental health is at risk, you could technically take them to court and sue the hospital that denied you, sue the doctor that denied you, because he is breaking law. He is breaking established law that was established at Roe v. Wade, right? So a lot of people don't understand that Roe v. Wade made it possible to get abortions up to 9 months. Look it up. It's on Wikipedia. It's everywhere. You can find it. The discussions the judges was having, and go to health exemptions, and you will see that they specifically included mental health in the health exemptions of abortions that allows women to get late-term abortions, right? So a lot of black people don't realize that what's going on, right? Which is it's harming them, right? They're fighting for people that actually want to destroy them. They're fighting against the good people, right? The good white people, right? A lot of people don't realize that a conflict is brewing between evil white people and poor white people. The poor white people have always been a victim of the evil white people, right? It's a misconception that black people was the only victims, right? We all have poison in our food, right? When you go to stores, all the fast foods, even the most by the black community, when you go to Publix, Walmart, all the foods, all the candies for kids, most of the things we consume have dangerous chemicals in them. all our water has dangerous chemicals in them, white or black, right? White people are a victim of the elites too, right? And if you're so caught up, if you're so self-absorbed in what you got going on as a black person in your race, you won't notice this, right? You won't notice that, oh, we're not the only ones being attacked by these evil white people that run America, that run the world. They're attacking poor white people too, right? And you can use this to your advantage, right? Because you can use the white people that's being attacked, you can use their anger to make them fight for your cause. But you dummies not understanding what's going on. A lot of dummies not understanding what's going on, right? The fact that there's an angry group of white people that's getting ready to go to war with these evil white people works in your favor. That works in your favor as a black person, right? Because now you have support against your real enemy. Your real enemy has always been evil elite white people, right? It was never average white people, right? Average white people participated in some of your destruction, but it was never them solely. If it was an average white person, they was working in cahoots with evil elite people that was promising them things, and basically that was hitmans, right? Basically that was hitmans for the elites, right? Whenever you see regular white people that was involved in our destruction, right? There was the hitmen of the elites, right? The source of the problem was always the elites, right? Right? You got to get it out your head that all white people are evil, right? All white people are not evil, right? And if you fall for the trap, you're going to end up fighting white people that did nothing to you. You're going to end up fighting white people that have no problem with you. They're not racist at all. They just want to survive. They just like you want to survive and live life and thrive. They want to survive, live life and thrive. But that's being made harder for them to do by these evil group of white people that's always been after you as a black person. They always been trying to destroy you. Always. And you not realizing what's going on, you getting forward into fighting white people that's not doing nothing to you. Good white people. Poor white people that have no power to really harm you. They don't have no power to move and shake things at the big level, big political level, to really harm you. The people that have the big power to move and shake things at a political level, most of them are evil white elites that have historically been the people that's been destroying black people, right? People that's making the laws, destroying our history, lying about our history, changing things about our history, telling us that we wasn't human. All that propaganda was not started by regular white people. That was started by the elite, evil white people that control the world, that control America, right? You gotta understand this, right? Because if you don't understand this, you're gonna end up attacking innocent white people that never did nothing to you, right? And it's so crazy how we can't see who the real evil white people are that's been destroying us, that's been trying to harm us. It's so crazy how we can't see it, right? It's so crazy how much black people don't know history, how much they don't know that the Democrats have always been the ones harming us. They're the ones that was fighting for slavery. They was fighting to stop us from getting rights. It's crazy how much black people don't understand this. The Republicans was always fighting for anti-slavery, fighting for black people. They had their own personal reasons for doing it, right? But they was always the party that was fighting against racism, against slavery, and fighting for black people, right? You got to understand the history of how the Republican Party got infiltrated by these elitists, right? Because the Republican Party was a party of the people, common, average people. That's what they read. That's why they catapulted. That's why they got so big, right? The Democrat Party was the first one, right? It was fully established, right? And it was the party of the elites, right? The Democrat Party was doing the elites' bidding. They're still doing it today, right? But what happened was the Republican Party got infiltrated by evil elites, and these evil elites are always racist, right? You got to understand, to be racist means that you're a bad person internally. If you're a righteous person, you're not gonna be racist, right? And a racist person, a real racist person is not really a real racist person is somebody that's not good internally, somebody that's not righteous, and they won't stop at just another race. They're gonna be unrighteous to all people, right? If they feel they could get away with it, they're gonna be unrighteous. They're gonna finesse, destroy anybody they can, right? And that includes their own white people, right? And if you know history, you know white people were slaves before black people. White people enslaved themselves before they made it exclusively black. It was mostly white slaves. Then they flipped around and made it exclusively black. But while they made it exclusively black, they were still having white slaves. Search it up, it's called indentured servitude, where white mothers would sell their kids into slavery. But black people is not understanding what's going on, and it's harming our cause, right? Because we could use what's going on to our benefit. Everything that's happening is actually working in our benefit. It's basically history repeating itself. When the old Civil War happened, it's looking like another Civil War is about to happen. But yeah, Roe v. Wade made it legal to have abortions up to 9 months, which is egregious. That's horrible, right? If you're fighting for that, if you're fighting to keep that you're an evil person, right? And all evil is born out of ignorance and weakness, right? The root of all evil is ignorance, right? The less you know, the more likely you're gonna do evil actions, right? The more you know, the less likely you're gonna do evil actions, right? And it's not only ignorance, it's weakness too, right? Weakness and ignorance is what makes evil. Weakness being that, you can't admit when you're wrong. You don't like to admit when you're wrong, you're weak, right? You don't want to feel the pain of admitting you're wrong, right? If you can't apologize when you did something wrong, you're weak. You are unable to feel the pain, right? Someone who's strong could admit when they're wrong, right? Someone who's strong is gonna do the right thing even though it's harder to do. Someone who's weak is gonna do the wrong thing because it's easier to do, right? So evil always starts with ignorance and weakness, right? You're really a coward when you're an evil person. You just don't realize it, right? A righteous person is very brave, right? That's why fire is associated with righteousness and fire is associated with braveness. But back to the discussion, black people are fighting for their own destruction, and it's crazy and it is bizarre to see black people helping their enemy destroy them, fighting for their own destruction. And at this rate, I don't know if we're ever going to rise to the top. Like, at this rate, we just can't see past the BS. We can't see exactly and it's so obvious. That's just so crazy. It's obvious what's going on. All you gotta do is read history and understand what's going on in today's world and compare resources. Don't just look at one side. Look at both sides and come to a conclusion, right? All wise people look at everything. Look at all possible perspectives, all possible angles. Put yourself in other people's shoes, right? Which is Pisces, which is Jupiter. That's why Jupiter is known as the most wisest planet. Jupiter represents the highest form of wisdom because Jupiter considers all possibilities before making a decision. And whenever you consider all possibilities, consider all avenues, consider all point of views before you make a decision, you are most likely to come up with the best decision because you're not blinded. Like when you don't consider possibilities, when you don't consider point of views, when you not understand what's going on the other side, when you're not putting yourself in other people's shoes, it limits your awareness. You expand your awareness by putting yourself in other people's shoes, understanding what's going on in other communities, understanding what's going on in the world. But don't fall for the hype, don't fall for the stupid stuff. The abortion fight is not a fight for black people. That's not the fight we're supposed to be fighting for. We have other bigger fish to fry as black people, and don't get caught up in the BS of evil elites trying to limit the world's population. And also the original judges that ruled on Roe v. Wade, they lied and said that abortions is guaranteed by the Constitution, when actually there's no constitutional law that says you can have an abortion. There's no law that says, yeah, you can kill babies. There's no constitution that says, yeah, you have the right to kill babies. There's no constitutional law that said that. And they cited the constitutional law for privacy as the law that gives abortion, when the law of privacy has nothing to do with killing babies. That has nothing to do with killing babies, right? Right. It's like saying, oh yeah, I cite the constitutional law of privacy so I could kill people, right? It's my privacy what I do, right? I could kill whoever I want, shoot them in the head, and you can't do nothing about it because I'm protected by the constitutional law of privacy, right? It's crazy, stupid, bizarre, don't make sense. But they made a lie and said that the Constitution guarantees abortion. The Constitution grants rights to having abortions, when that is false and that is a lie that the judges said. And it's only right for the new judges today to overturn that, because it wasn't right. It was the decision was founded on a lie. Anything founded on a lie has to be overturned. It has to be destroyed, right? You got to create a law that's founded on truth, right? And Roe v. Wade was founded on a lie, so it's only right to overturn it, right? They did the right thing. The judges did the right thing, and it's going back to all the states, so all the states can make a decision on whether they're gonna have late-term abortion or early term, or just in the beginning, or ban abortions outright. You know, just completely ban abortions in their state. And even if you stay in a state that gets abortions, that bans abortions, you could still fly to another state that has abortions, right? It's making it harder for you to get abortions, but that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be hard to kill people. It's supposed to be easy to survive and live and make babies and create life. That's supposed to be easy. That's supposed to be easier. We need to fight to make that easier, not fight to make it easier to kill babies, right? You should be fighting to make life easier for everybody to survive and thrive and create life, not easier to kill babies.